It's good to see you again.
Oh, it is good to be back talking with you about educational opportunities and ways to support our educators, our students, and our schools. At University United Methodist Church, we invite you and encourage you to become a part of the process, be it through your own church or individually, by going to a school and visiting with them about their particular needs and ways that you might become a part of their support group that is so vital. You know, it's one of those things that is so very important today, is that we educate our children, but not only educating our children, but also working with parents, working with the school system, and working with others to make sure that our children are healthy, happy, and that they're well educated as they move through the 21st century. We've got some ideas and would challenge you to challenge your own church if you're a part of a church or a civic group, or if you would like to be a part of our group. We invite you to come and be a part. But some of the things that you can do as a faith-based person, the first thing obviously would be to pray. Pray for the children of a particular school. And you can do that, if you'd like to do it in a healthy way, by simply walking around the sidewalk in the mornings and praying for the students that are involved in the classes, the teachers, praying that the administrators are having a good day, and praying that God's grace might be upon them. Prayer is such an important part of who we are as God's people. And then celebrate with the public schools in ways that are meaningful to them. And it may be that your school has a particular project that they do, an annual event or something like that, that you could be a part of. You know, they may have a spring carnival that you could go and win a little trinket in the fish tank that they have, or go on a cakewalk and support with your smiles, with your encouragement. And when you see one of those badges that says elementary school teacher on it, say how much you appreciate all that they do. Well, those are some of the things that you can do, but there are lots of other things too. Have you ever thought about attending one of their musical performances? These kids are so wonderful. I was at a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade concert in actually Lindsborg, where my granddaughter goes to school. And they sang, and it was jaw-droppingly good. I really enjoyed the evening. It was such a wonderful thing to be there and support the kids and their families. And I was able to say, this is my granddaughter, but what a wonderful statement to say, no, I don't have any kids here. I'm just here to support the music program of this school. Wow, what a statement that makes. Beyond that, they may have other events and activities. There may be ragtag football games or basketball or volleyball that's being played as intramurals. Be sure and stop by and talk to the principal and talk to the teachers, and let them know who you are and that you're there to be supportive and not a threat. It especially helps if you go with your church, and a church group can make a big impact. If you want to have some fun with that, you might put some t-shirts together that say, First Church supports the education of whatever school that you're in attendance. And if you have 5, 6, 10, 15 people that are walking around in those shirts, they know just by the clothes you have on that you support them and their children. What a great idea that is. Well, there are other things and other ways that you can partner. You can donate backpacks for those. We have school kids who are really in need, and I'm very concerned about that. So donating backpacks filled with not only school supplies, but also with non-perishable food items can be a real blessing to a child that's hungry, that maybe is a little bit embarrassed because they don't have pencil and paper and the things that they need. Well, you can provide that for them. What a joy that is when their first day, the teacher very quietly slips them this backpack filled with everything that they need. From you, very quietly supporting one of the greatest assets our community has to offer. Backpacks are a great idea. In fact, you can start a backpack program that within your church or within your community group that literally feeds the children for the weekend. So many go home hungry and they come back to school and they haven't had enough to eat. Wow. Can you imagine the joy that they come back to school ready to learn and grow with their stomachs full and their minds ready to be filled? It's an important thing. Another important thing as far as beyond filling their stomach is to fill their mind. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you became a reader? You know, kids love to be read to. And you could read a children's book to a group of children, and would make an impact on their lives. They would never forget you. You would be that special book reader person in their lives, and it would make a difference. Reading is so key to what we do in our culture and being successful in our society. Reading is key. I hope you'll be a part of a reading program. Now you need to go through the administration and the faculty and that sort of thing, and they would vet you to make sure that you're a safe person. And we want you to do that. We want you to be assured that no harm comes to any of our children. So go through that process with the school district and talk with them about reading to kids and what it would take. Now maybe reading isn't one of your great gifts, but math is. Now that's not my case, but in your case it may be. Learning to help students add, subtract, multiply, divide, and even some of the higher mathematical functions like algebra or geometry. If that's your gift, you can be so important in tutoring to these young people. You know, math is a difficult subject for some and comes so naturally and easy for others. And so if you would help, I know you would be blessed and a blessing. Beyond that, there are lots and lots of different ways to connect with the local school. And to show appreciation to the school teachers is key. If you're part of a church or a community group, have a special worship service at least once a year that you invite teachers, and maybe award a teacher for being the best teacher voted by their school, and invite them to come and be a part, have a dinner and do all the things we do so well at church. Or if you're a community group like Kiwanis or Lions Club or Rotary, bring them to your Rotary Club and invite them to dinner and to be a part of this important part of your life. You know, teachers are amazing people. They're not paid what they're worth for certain, in my estimation, but they are so very valuable. They go beyond, well beyond what you see in the classroom, oftentimes working at home, doing papers and paperwork and making sure that the students are cared for. They really are like second moms and dads for some of these kids. And speaking of that, it's important to be able to connect with the parents and offer yourself as someone who would be supportive. If you're older like me, then you have a lot of experience, and some of the younger parents may come to trust and rely upon you, especially if you'll work with them on providing things like rides for them if they need to be at a PTA meeting, but because they don't have an extra car, maybe they need a ride. They would go if they could, and you can provide that transportation for them. You could also have a special Parents' Day at your church or at your community group, and invite the parents to hear about special parenting opportunities. You know, so many of our children grow up in single-parent homes these days. And so to provide that support for parents who are single parents, who are working sometimes 1, 2, or 3 jobs, and then trying to do what they can to put food on the table, and then to be active in their school is almost an impossibility. So for you to help the parent in that area balance all of those things and maybe provide support would be a wonderful thing. And by providing support, that I'm not talking about financially, I'm talking about just being there as a listening ear and an experienced person who can show them the right way to do things, the healthy way. You've been through it probably, and you know what it takes to help your child be successful. You've done things right, and you've probably done a few things wrong, and you've learned through that process. Share that with them. Parents are lifetime learners too, and when these little babies are born, they don't come with an instruction manual, but they do come with a lot of love. And we need to remind them to love their children. It's important to do that. It's important to also advocate for justice, and families that have special needs children, those special kids that are so remarkable in so many ways. Well, we need to support them especially. Autistic kids are very, very numerous these days, as Down syndrome and other special needs kids. And so to be able to support a parent who's going through all of the things you go through with special needs kids, and to be there to advocate with them and for them in the school system is very, very important. When IEP comes around, the individual education plans, it's critical that the right IEP be drawn up. And your support might be just what they need to get that little extra something for them. You could do all that as an advocate, and I pray that you will. You know, I've been studying a little bit on this, and the Lewis Center for Church Leadership has come up with 50 ways to engage local schools. 50. Now, they recommend you don't try all those at once, but it is a broad perspective of things that you can do. If you're interested at all in connecting with your local school as an individual, as a church group, as a community leader, or as a service club member, we have the 50 ways here that we can print for you at University Church. I hope you'll call us. I hope you'll email me or stop by, and if you see me on the street, just tap me on the shoulder and say, "Tell me about those 50 ways, Pastor Mike." And I don't have them memorized, but I sure know where they are, and I'll get you a copy, and I'll encourage you to get connected. You see, what we give back to those young people that are our future is a legacy that goes beyond description. It's a legacy that you can give. You don't have to be wealthy to leave a legacy. This legacy is a legacy of the heart. And I pray that you'll open your heart to these students, these educators, and these administrators, and that you'll support and affirm them in ways that are meaningful to them, in ways that are meaningful to you too as well. Well, call me. The church number is 825-9505, or check online, and you can see our website at uumcsalina.org. God's blessings, and thank you.